Hello, and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So Ethereum has broken above the green line with the break above that 2,734 level. The triangle pattern we've been tracking as one of the potentials has been invalidated, but it doesn't really change anything in practice, I would say, because so far the price hasn't broken below any level, hasn't broken below any previous swing low, so we haven't got a confirmed top in place. All that happened was a change of labeling, because the triangle, which as I mentioned is unreliable anyway, as triangle patterns are, and they often morph into something different, because the triangle hadn't just because it's invalidated doesn't mean we're like going to the moon, right? The local uptrend, however, is still alive. All I want to share with you still is that it's still a potential B-wave rally. So it's just something that still is with us, because Ethereum has just been much weaker than, for example, Bitcoin. Bitcoin has formed a pretty solid 5-wave move up from the August low. Ethereum hasn't. So indicates still weakness on the Ethereum chart. Of course, as I shared with you in the last video, where we also took a look at the daily chart, it is still expected for Ethereum to rally to new all-time highs, but I just don't see that dynamic that I see on the Bitcoin chart. And just objectively, this pattern here is just weaker than Bitcoin's, yeah. So it's still not very exciting, which is also reflected by the views of the Ethereum videos. People are just not interested, okay? And that might change, but for now, the price is still only rallying in corrective fashion. Okay, the price reacted to the main support region several times, which I'm tracking actually also on the daily chart. Here, this support area, which is between 1800 and 2460. But this is still overall looking like a range. Surely, we have a first break above the invalidation point of that triangle. But to really confirm that a lasting low has been established on the 5th of August, I need to see a 5-wave move up. I need to see a wave 1. Okay, done. Wave 2, done. A, B, C in wave 3, probably not done yet. Would be good to see that C wave go a little bit higher to the next upside levels to watch, 2008.86 or 2009.39. And then I need to see another 4-5 pattern. Then we can call it a 5-wave move. I can then call that a wave 1, larger degree wave 1, of a larger 5-wave move. Or it's an A wave, actually, thinking about it. And then we can add support for the subsequent corrective pullback. If it's a 5-wave move up, it is more clearly bullish, and we can watch for a corrective pullback, which then should form a higher low. It doesn't need to be a 5-wave move, because we're dealing with an overall larger degree diagonal pattern on the Ethereum chart. That diagonal pattern started in 2022. I shared it with you in one of the last videos. We could also just chop our way up to new all-time highs, so that, in corrective patterns. So choppy structures, okay? So it's not that, we need 5 waves up. Sometimes, when I say that we're looking for a 5-wave move, people are waiting and waiting for that 5-wave move. And sometimes it's just turning into a larger corrective rally, because the context tells us in a diagonal, we could just, we don't need 5 waves. Could just be like a WXY, and it just goes higher, 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 then gives us a pullback at some point and goes higher, higher, higher. And we never get the 5 waves. And the context tells us this is what might happen. There is no guarantee for a 5-wave move. All I'm saying is that is the cleanest pattern. If we get 5 waves, we get a clear Elliott wave trade setup. So, but for now, the trend is still up locally, and I shared with members on Discord earlier today that it takes a break below the last swing low, here around 2,650, this previous swing low area, to indicate that a top of sorts has formed. That's the first indication. Then a lot of other questions need to be answered, like, okay, is it a top in wave B, for example? Are we breaking down, or is it just sort of a small pullback within a still unfolding B wave? So for now, however, the local trend is up. You could also easily use, for example, a trend line to track it, even though it's only 2 touch points, or 3 actually. So you might want to use that trend line, but just giving you some ideas here. Overall, the levels that I mentioned matter, and there is not much more to say. The structures haven't changed, the scenarios haven't changed really. Only the B-wave labeling has changed from a triangle into a WXY structure. That's the update about Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.